Hey, good morning, everybody. Yeah, you saw a sneak peek. I've got the SPY up. I'm going to talk about the ranges. I know absolutely what is going to happen today, bull case scenario and bear case scenario. So just stick with me a few minutes and we're going to talk about the SPY ranges. SPY ranges are going to help you so that you know when to get into calls, when to secure profit, when to get into puts, when to secure profit. But first, I made a posting over the weekend. If you're growing a small account, I'm going to give you an example. You're starting with $500. You want to grow your account. Well, you don't want to over leverage yourself. So I do a 20% rule, meaning if I have $500 in an account, I will use $100 on a trade. To the upside, I'm going to look for 25 or 30%, something to that extent. Yes, I'm going to pocket 25 or $30. To the downside, I'm going to put a stop loss in at 10%, meaning as long as I get good entry, hopefully I won't get stopped out. But if I do, the total loss that I could have, 10% of $100, $10 as a percentage of 500 is 2% of your portfolio. So you're wrong about a trade. You're starting out, oh shit, I'm off 2%. That's it. You're wrong again. You're off 2%. You secure the profit on one trade. Boom, you're back in the green. That is how you grow small accounts. It's a slow process, but if you do it the right way with $500, 4, 5, 6 months down the line, you're going to have 10,000. And then your trades are going to progressively get larger. But that's a great strategy to limit your downside. There's no reason to win 4 straight trades, lose the 5th trade, and have your account back at zero. There's no reason to over leverage your account. So that's just a lesson to start out. We're going to talk about what's going on this week. First off, we entering the week, puts way far outnumber calls. Now that could easily change. The market could open, people could sell their puts, buy calls, the strategy can change. But right now, as we closed out last week, expiries for this week, when you look at all the expiration dates, puts by far outnumber calls. So I'm still anticipating some downside pressure. Then what else did we have? Okay, before I start talking about the SPY, we've got Fed speakers this week. Monday morning, 8 a.m. Logan, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Harker, 11:30 on Tuesday. He's more aggressive. Williams, Tuesday, 2:05 p.m. Thursday, Cook, Bauman, Friday morning. What else do we have? CPI data. When is it happening? On Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday. It's actually on Tuesday. So pay attention because Tuesday is tomorrow. They could definitely pump the market today to have it pulled the rug tomorrow. Now, I think we're going to range trade today. So I'm going to give you my bull case scenario and my bear case scenario for the range trading that I expect today and today's choppiness. Okay, so we have CPI Tuesday, retail data on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday, jobless claims on Thursday, and we have over 10% of S&P companies reporting earnings this week. So if you think all the earnings are past us, no, we've had about maybe 25% report. We've got another 10%. Then what happened? CPI was readjusted for the previous 2 months, going up. So instead of losing 0.1% and going down and being cooler last month, we're actually up 0.1%. Well, why do they give us these predictions if they're always off? They're always off. They always revise them. Job numbers, they were estimating 186. What was it? Friday ago came in at $512,000. That puts bearish pressure on the market. I can talk about the aliens that we shoot down or the UFO. I think there was another one shot down over the weekend. I can talk about the Super Bowl. Yes, I said Kansas City in the over made the most sense. Didn't bet it. Why? I would rather bet on myself rather than betting on sporting events or something else. I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to bet on myself when it comes to investing. So I'm expecting CPI to come in hot and heavy. We can talk about the SPY. So let's talk about the SPY. I have it up on the screen right now. Let me just get over to the ranges here. Okay, let's do a bull case scenario. Bull case scenario, we're sitting at 408.79. A key level of rejection is $410.50. That used to be mega support, turned into rejection line. So that's the first thing I'm looking for. If you're trading or looking at the S&P 500, you're talking about 410.50, okay? On the SPY, you're looking at 410.50. So it's just add the 0. That's how you do the S&P. Okay, with that said, if we reject there, it's likely, again, this is a bull case scenario, that we're going to trade right around 407.50 all the way up to like the 410.50 range, maybe 411. That would be your bull case scenario for range trading today. Again, we're spiking a little pre-market, 408.84. So again, bull case scenario is we drop a little, we go down to 407.50, we shoot up to 410.50, and that's the range we trade all day. Very narrow range trading. Bear case scenario actually starts out the day bullish. We shoot up to the 410.50 number and we reject it, and then we quickly go down to 409 where we are now. Okay, so there's not any major changes, but that would be bearish. And then the rest of the day, we're going to trade between, let's say, 408.50 and possibly 405. That would make more sense to me based on the number of outstanding contracts there are in the market. Now, how do I find this information? I look at the flow information from our Discord, and I will get to that later. You should be able to see a link on the bottom of the screen if you want to join our Discord. Oh, real important. Romeo's going live today, 9:15 a.m. So if you're part of the Discord, today's not a public session, but he does that once a week. So even if you don't want to pay to be on the Discord, you can join our public Discord. You'll still see comments. I mean, the paid section is obviously better. Why? Because I love to use the flow and algos room. I love to see where there are bullish or bearish divergence. What the hell is he talking about? It's talking about the algorithm is saying the stock price should be up here and the stock price is down here. That's called a bullish divergence. Likely they will meet in the middle. Same thing when you're talking about a bearish divergence. What you do is the stock price is up here. The algos are telling you the stock price should be down here. What's going to happen likely? They usually meet somewhere in the middle. So the stock price usually falls. How do you know? The algo is telling you the stock price is going to fall. Now, is it instantaneous? No. Is it 100% correct? No, but it's damn accurate. It's all done with analytics. So I would say percentage-wise, it's probably like an 88% accurate, and it usually happens within 1 or 2 days. So, I mean, it's almost like getting a tip on something, saying, you know what, this is going to fall. Give it a few days. I know the market is strong, but it's a way to help you trade. It's a way to make sure that you're trading on the right side of the trade where big money is. If you're going opposite big money, you're going to lose. Yeah, I hate the institutions. It's institutions versus us retail traders. But us retail traders need to do everything we can to improve our trading skills and what we're seeing. So I'm just going to share Discord because let's talk about the SPY right now. I'm speaking about SPY ranges. So let me just pull up Discord. We're going to look at the dark pool level. Where the hell am I? Okay, I just lost my place. Okay, here we go. Let's add it to the screen. Boom. Make it nice and big. Let's remove myself. Let's make sure this was done yesterday. The great thing about this done yesterday PM, you could look up these charts at any point on Discord. You want to do your homework on Saturday night at midnight. Go right ahead. You could still look at the algorithms. You could look at the flows. You could look at who's buying, whether it's big buys, small buys, golden sweeps, things like that. Okay, so we're looking at the SPY. All right, we can notice that there's a huge dark pool level just under 400. Psychologically, 400 is a key level. Are we getting there today? No, but I'm telling you in advance, let's say CPI numbers come out hot tomorrow. Where's the market going to test? It's going to test that 399.76 level of the dark pool. So again, CPI comes in hot, market goes down. Where could the market find support? Right here, just under 400. Then you have a very small level at 402, just under $8 billion worth. Next level higher, 404.70. And then the levels are actually pretty solid. These are some good levels right here. So you're looking at 407.17, 409.64, and then all the way to 412. So what's likely to happen? If we go past this 409.64 and we're almost there, pre-market, we're sitting at 408.77. Okay, we were at 409, I thought, but now we're at 408.77. So the point is, I'm going to look to see if we reject that 410 number. Again, I mentioned this number plus or minus 30, 40 cents. So that puts me right at 410. So I'm expecting if we're going to have a bearish day, I'll just give you again, bearish scenario. We spike up in the morning, we press 410, possibly 410.50. We reject that. It might reject that once or twice or 3 times. You've heard the expression double bottom, double top, triple bottom. It means that it's trying to break through a certain range and it just can't do it. So it's a triple top. It gets rejected once, twice, 3 times. Same thing when you find support. And we found support on the SPY last week. Remember, if you're on Discord, we got into some calls. I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday. We found the bottom and we rode those calls higher. Again, I exited out too soon. I think my calls went up another 120% after I sold them, but profit is profit. And if I could take over 100% on a trade, I'm damn happy. Another quick lesson: don't overtrade. It's so much better to call yourself a winner. I haven't spoke about this in a while, but you want to call yourself a winner day after day after day. If you're a winner 3 times, and I remember one scenario when Carlos came over, helped me set up the studio. I think I was up like 17,000 on the day. I entered into some Riot or Mara options. I made another 8,000, and instead of selling and taking profit, I let that 8,000 disappear, and it wiped away another 12,000. So the fact that I was up 17 plus 8, 25, wiped away my 8 that I was up, and then cut 12 into my 17. I made $5,000 on the day instead of just pocketing 17 without that final trade, or even taking that final trade, securing profit and being up 25. That was a hell of a day. But again, when you don't see the money in front of you, you get greedy. You're like, okay, it's going higher, it's going higher, it's going, whatever, it's going in my direction. I'm not going to sell. But please take profit. I speak about this from my own experience. I'm sure any trader can tell you things switch quickly in the market, especially when we have CPI coming out tomorrow, PPI on Thursday. If you think you're going to see an extremely bullish or bearish day, one or the other, you're not. You're going to see chop today heading into tomorrow's numbers. Understand, Wall Street, the banks, the institutions, the hedge funds still think CPI is going to come in flat or under like it supposedly did last month. And what's going to happen is they're going to pump the market. So that's an expectation I have, even though I happen to think CPI is coming in hot. However, I've been burnt in the past. I was killing the CPI release numbers. I had it like 3 straight months, crushing it every time. And then I screwed up on 2 months, and 1 month the market just ripped higher, and I was expecting it to go down because I was expecting numbers to come in hot. Well, the revised numbers came in where I thought they would. However, call it script, fix, whatever it is. I'm going to watch what the market's reaction is. Remember, the market tries to fool you as well. So it's important to come out tomorrow. I see a question about NVIDIA or comments, thoughts on NVIDIA earnings. Oh, God. Chips have been coming in. It's been a mixed review. You had Intel, which was just atrocious. AMD, which was pretty damn bad, but yet AMD was propelled. They were showing support for it. So NVIDIA's got tons of support. Here's the catch. NVIDIA has tons of support from analysts, from institutions, from hedge funds. It's the number 1 chip maker, right? It has price targets of 240, 250, 265. The stock is finally trading at 212. So people are saying it can go up another 8, 9, 10%. Now, again, I don't trust earnings. I don't want to play through earnings. And if you're going to play NVIDIA, a cheaper way to play NVIDIA earnings is either to play AMD, to play Intel, Micron, because if NVIDIA reports well, AMD will go up probably close to the same amount. If NVIDIA reports poorly and it goes down 3%, you're going to see the same drop in Micron, AMD, STX, all those other chip companies. So it's a cheaper way to play. Understand the IVs on NVIDIA are probably pumping right now with earnings coming out. Oh, you like my nails? Yes. I have a 6-year-old daughter. To keep her occupied over the weekend, she wanted to paint my nails. Turned into some good stuff, though. Yes, I cleaned up from COVID. Thoughts on Microsoft? Okay, well, we could, I'll give you a quick thought on Microsoft. Well, since you were asking the questions, unfortunately, for me to pull it up, I'd have to remove the Discord feature, get up the charts. But let's look at Microsoft because I actually know Microsoft pretty darn well. Let's just see. Of course, I can't type, though. I have fat thumbs. Okay, so Microsoft's sitting at 263. Microsoft had major support. I mean, we're going to go all the way back to 226, 231. The fact that we're 263, I think it would reject 270. What was it? 274, 275 we hit last week. So again, I was surprised it got that high. You have to understand, if they're going to buy Apple and they're going to buy Netflix and they're going to buy Google and Amazon because they're all beaten up, well, Microsoft and NVIDIA are going to go up as well. So it's going to follow the market. It's not like Microsoft is going to go back to 275 and then the market's going to drop at the same time. If Microsoft goes up to 275, there's your bull case scenario. Understand the SPY has to break probably 415 again. We have to break that level. Now, there's small demand and supply zones from 410 all the way to 416. So if we crack the 410 going north, yeah, bull case scenario, You're going to see 416. Let's say CPI numbers come in weak tomorrow. Where could the SPY go? Okay, weak CPI. I'm going to give you two case scenario, right? Bull case and bear case. Weak CPI numbers, strong for the market. The 2-year, the 10-year, the US dollar go down, and the market, the SPY goes up to 420. Yep, we're at 408 today, 420 tomorrow. You're talking about what? 3.5% to the upside. Now, let's say CPI numbers come in hot. The estimate, I believe, is for like 6.2 or 6.3. I happen to think we're coming in at 6.4 or 6.5. So if the estimate is 6.2 and we come in at 6.4, 6.3, 6.5, we're still going to miss by 0.2%. Now, if that happens, we miss by 0.2%, I believe the market will drop 2%. So if we're saying that the SPY closes today, let's just pick a number at 408.50, something to that level, then where do I see the SPY being tomorrow? We're going to test that 399.74 level. Let's remember, I pulled it up before. Huge support, right? Where are we seeing? 399.76. So again, high CPI numbers, we're going to test it. So what would be a great trade if you want to be bearish? If you want to be bearish, I would say, okay, let me get into some SPY puts. Let me go way out of the money so that they're cheap. I'll let them expire on Wednesday so that I have extra day to be correct. And I would look at the 401 number, because if we're heading down and we crash and we go under that 401 number and we test that 399.76, well, your 401, you're going to be worth $1 and change. And you could probably pick those up, I'm thinking, for somewhere between 40 cents, maybe $45 each. Again, you want to grab it when the SPY looks like it's going up, because you're playing the opposite direction. Same thing if you're looking to get into calls and you think CPI is going to come in low tomorrow and the SPY is going up to 420, you want to wait to see the SPY go back and pull back and test 407. 407, your bull case, you go, okay, let me buy the 415s. It's $8 higher. It's 2% higher. They expire in 3 days. They'll be pretty freaking cheap. So that's what I'm seeing there. What do I think about Google? So here's the thing. When Google crashed because of their chat GPT the other day and gave the wrong answer and the stock was off 7%, and then you have somebody like Jim Cramer go out and say how he loves Google, how it's just a buying opportunity. And I mentioned this on the YouTube on Friday. I said, stay the hell away. There are so many better trading plays than Google right now, okay? Yes, if the market rips higher, what are you going to see? So again, if you have CPI numbers coming cool, Google will rip higher, probably more so than Meta or Apple or Amazon, just because it lost that extra 8% plus another 2%. So yeah, I mean, again, I don't really trust the Qs right now. I actually think, my personal opinion, CPI is coming in hot. So I'm not going to be riding that many contracts into tomorrow. Okay, what else we got? Our Discord link. That's cool. Thank you for sharing that. And let's look at Uber. Okay, so let's take a look at Uber. Uber was interesting because I didn't really care for the Uber report. They came out with earnings last week. And then you had Lyft come out with earnings a couple of days after, and Lyft was off, I think, 33%. Now, here's the thing about Lyft. I know you asked about Uber, but here's the thing about Lyft. There were a ton of, I think it was 4 or 5 month out calls being bought on Lyft after it dropped, and it's still off this morning. So let's see where Uber is. Uber's had heavy outflow since earnings. I could definitely see Uber falling right back to the 32.91 range. So the fact that we're sitting at 34.50 pre-market, it's actually up. If I had to make a guess, again, all things being consistent without CPI or PPI, I would say Uber's probably going to come down and test at 32.91, which would be a whole 4% lower from where we are now. So again, Uber could be a play. If the market pumps this morning and the SPY opens up at 410 or 410.50 and then it rejects once or twice, you could say, okay, I'm going to play Uber puts. Matt said that 32.91 was a possibility as long as the market struggles. I think CPI is coming in hot. Again, if I'm going to take two plays and I'll put one bullish and one bearish, I'm going to go out till actually, I might not even go out till Wednesday. I might just go out till tomorrow, because I know there's going to be a craziness tomorrow morning. But I might look at SPY 415 calls tomorrow. At the same time, I might look at SPY something like 404 puts, maybe 403 puts. Again, I don't want to waste or play too much money. So the further out of the money they are, the cheaper the puts are going to be for me. Let's just look it up. I'll give you an example real quick. We'll see how much they would actually cost. I don't want to talk out of my ass. Yeah, again, 2 bad days in the SPY. Let's say Monday and Tuesday, 2 red days, and the numbers come in hot tomorrow. We're definitely going to see that 399 number. And if you give me 2 green days, since there's a ghost zone from where we are to 416, we'll be pushing 420. So again, I really like the strategies playing both ways. So I'm going to look at February 14th expiration. Let's look at the puts first. And I'm going to go down. Okay, I'd probably look at like the 403 puts. I think they're around $2 each. There was as low as 192 on Friday at one point. So I'd probably say to myself, okay, if I can get those somewhere in the 192 to 195 range, there you go. If the SPY drops to that 399 level, I'm going to get at least $4.50 out of these puts, making over 100%. Then I'm going to go to the call side, and I'm going to say, okay, let's look at the calls. Let's go out of the money. Again, I'd probably choose something like 416s because they're only less than $1 each. Again, if I thought the market was going to blast off, I could say, okay, low CPI numbers, the SPY goes to 419. Well, if I'm in 416 calls, it costs me $1 and I can get $3 out of them or $300 out of them. There's a good return. So again, I'm not buying them both at the same time. It spikes, I'm buying the puts for cheap. The market drops, I'm buying the calls for cheap. It's a great way to play both sides. Again, you're going out to tomorrow. You're not putting your life savings in there, but you're saying CPI comes in weak. The SPY is going to jump 3%. We're going to see 419, 420. The other side is CPI comes in strong, right? Hot. We drop the 2% number. You're going to see that support at 399. So that's kind of the thought process. Again, Romeo is going live at 9:15 on Discord. If you like what I have to say, he actually talks about stocks. I talk about the market sentiment, where I think it's going, why I think it's going there, how to trade, how to work on your effective and your trading ability, how to improve your skills by a few percent here or there to make more money, and how to grow your account. Romeo will go on. He'll speak about specific trading options. He'll mention, I believe, Exxon. He was bullish energy. So again, if there is a rotation for stocks, those of you who like to play long-term stocks, you might want to look at energy, healthcare, and utilities right now. All right. That's the whisper on Wall Street. If tech starts getting hurt and earnings come in tough, you want to look at utilities, energy, and we're back to healthcare. That's the rotation going. Okay. Those are longer term trades. If you're looking at day trade, then yeah, join us. Follow Romeo. He's going on 9:15. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. And we're going to talk about CPI numbers. So what a better day than that? Trade safe, trade smart. Don't overtrade. One trade, call yourself a winner. If you see another great entry, take a second trade, but you don't have to. The object of trading is to grow your finances, to make you a smarter, more well-off person. So that's what we're doing. Well, what else we got? Oh, from Romeo's trade from Friday. Yes, your Exxon up 120% on Friday. Yeah, the shit's there every morning. If I like to trade between 9:30 and 10 a.m., man, I would be all over what Romeo is saying. The dude is on fire now for months. I said weeks ago. Now we're on months. So please join our Discord live trading. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great Monday. Be safe, and we'll see you for CPI.